figure I'll start right now. What's this?
Alright, well, while you ponder that, this is Signal Soundbytes. I'm Brandon Peña, managing editor of The Signal, and with me today I have a great group of people who are going to introduce themselves now. Anybody can take it first. First come, first serve.
Me first come. Okay, howdy y'all. Name's Troylon Griffin. You previously heard me bleeding out on the last podcast. I am pleased to announce that my finger has almost completely healed, and Jonathan, whatever his last name is going to be sued for $2 million.
That was a long intro, but thank you for that.
I'm Alyssa Shotwell. This is my first time on the podcast. I've listened to two, so I heard about Troylon's
Almost
encounter
death experience, which was kind of really dramatic. Those
He has all 10
it
digits.
was really
so.
dramatized.
Yeah. Why isn't anyone talking?
I was chewing a Cliff Bar. I'm Jeremy. I'm an assistant editor.
I'm Leif. I've been on hiatus doing my
Yes.
internship, and they moved it back an hour so I could come today. So
Leif is back.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
I'm Emily, and I am the editor of the Wingspan.
And where can we find the Wingspan?
Online, it's totally free.
Totally free
How
online.
could you call her out like that?
Or
Just Google Wingspan UHCL and click the first link.
okay, cool.
Just be careful.
I have no idea how to get to it.
Well, guys, so it's been a week since the Astros won the World Series, their very first win in the World Series. Congratulations to them. Right? This is actually their second appearance in the World Series, and this time they won in Game 7 by a score of 5-1 against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That in itself is a feat.
It is.
A big one.
So, what were y'all's emotions? Did y'all pay attention to the game? Did y'all keep, updated? Did you watch every game? What was y'all's Astros thing?
My Twitter was infected with that. I couldn't avoid
You
it.
just couldn't.
At the end of the night, I would see it winding down like it's ninth inning. Okay, let's watch it. So every night I watch the last inning. So
I unfortunately did not watch every game. I more so saw it in bits and pieces, but I still kept up with it, which is generally what I do with sports and everything. Don't always watch it, but I keep up with it. And so, like he just said, Facebook, Twitter, everything was go Astros, and people filming their videos going bananas. Whenever they found out they were even going in the World Series, I was like, dang, whoa, it's pretty exciting. I mean, I gotta say it was exciting too. A Texas team going that far, come on. It's pretty
Your
big.
hometown team.
Exactly. I was happy.
That's good.
they're the first Texas team to win the World Series. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching the Astros like every season since I was a little kid. So winning this was like it's one of the best feelings I've ever had.
Yeah, I think you said it was like Christmas morning for you.
Yeah. It was like waking up on Christmas morning.
Nice.
Yeah, it was amazing.
How about you, Alyssa? Did you pay attention to the...
I didn't watch a single game.
Did you know what the Astros were?
I know, because I remember when I was in junior high, they went to the World Series, and there was it was against the White Sox, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that people would get mad if you wore White Sox to school. And
What else is saying?
they had a spirit
Yeah.
week,
That's
so every day, like, you wear Texans gear, you wear Astros. Not Texans isn't a sports team, but like cowboy hats. I will say, at first I was just like, oh, this is not my thing, whatever. But I was really happy that they were in the World Series because a lot of people have had like their lives change for the worse because of Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was happy that this is a reason for other people to be happy. But personally, outside of that, it's just like.
Yeah, no, because it did bring a lot of, entertainment and joy to people who had lost a lot in Harvey. And I think that was one of the really cool things about winning this World Series is that, your hometown team is, winning this big, competition. I don't know how would you rephrase it. And it's kind of like a nod to Houston. It's a nod to your, our resilience.
They wore those Houston strong patches on their jerseys too.
That was really cool
All
to
the
see.
Houston victims.
17.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like if I'm right about this, but I personally feel like that was one of the reasons that so many people did suddenly really become so happy and everything. Like, even people that weren't big sports people and stuff, which I'm sure some of us can relate to.
Oh,
like a lot of us really kind of jumped on the rooting for the Astros because we wanted Houston to have, like, I guess you could say, a comeback after the whole devastating Harvey thing. And I think it's really showed this year, like, you can't knock us Houstonians.
Right.
Even if a hurricane comes at us and everything, we come together. And not only do we come together, but we come together as a sports team and kick Los Angeles butt.
Yeah.
Yes, well said.
I would have said the other
Very
word,
nice.
but I'm trying to be sensitive.
You're trying to not to be
Censor yourself.
Trying.
Normally when big sports events are happening, there's the, you're just jumping on the bandwagon. I did not hear that once the whole time. The last 2 games before they got in the World Series, nobody cared if you didn't have an Astros shirt until a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Everybody was super positive, which was nice to see.
Yeah. Because anybody like who listens to the podcast, they know it's like I'm not a big sports person, but for some reason I got infected by like the baseball
And now he's got a
thing,
World Series.
and now I'm wearing a World Series hat. I'm like all Astros all the way. It was really.
That's what I want to know. You live tweeted the World Series.
I live tweeted the World Series. Like I did that multiple
Did you
times.
research or?
No, I was just watching the game and I picked it up. Like I started picking up like as it was going because it was actually a really easy format. I didn't really.
Yeah.
I thought it was more complicated
Yeah.
Baseball's
before.
pretty straightforward.
It's not
But
as
as
complicated
I-
as football.
Yeah, as I was watching it, I was like,
Definitely.
oh, that's, I was starting to pick up, like, on some of the things. But it was funny because Jeremy would live tweet on our Signalcast Twitter, and it would be, like, really specific baseball jargon. He's, like, walking them and da-da-da, like, let's just say that they got a home run. Like, what? Like, it's really complicated. I was like, let me retweet that in layman terms.
On that matter about it being like, like it not being as complicated as football, also, I feel like this whole Astros victory in general was it was almost like kind of not a relief, but kind of a reminder of, the other sports that we do get to root for. Because, as someone that's, growing up in Texas, to me it seems like the focus is always more on football and the Texans and everything. So to see like there be success, with baseball, I was like, it's kind of
And
like a
to
really
be
good break.
honest, after watching several of the baseball games, and I was going back into watching like football, like the Texans this week, I couldn't get as into it. Like,
Yeah.
I like lost that like energy that I had from it. It
I'm
just
ready
it
for
wasn't.
baseball season to start again.
Yeah.
There was something like that was like so like do or die
Yeah.
with baseball. That was like
Yeah.
it made it fun to watch. Like even staying up until like
There,
late in the evening.
there was something I saw that I thought was pretty cool. Y'all might have seen it. Is someone in the audience threw a beer up at one of the players. He was on a float in the parade, and he throws the beer up.
He chugged it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
catches it and he chugs it. And just the look on their faces. They've been playing baseball their entire life. That's what they've dreamed of. That moment, and to just see it, and he's like, that had to be like such a good feeling to just throw that beer
Yeah.
back and like.
They played-
Everybody just cheered. It was cool.
They played over like 180 games this year, including the playoffs. So
It's crazy.
it's a long way.
So also that happened in the World Series. George Springer got the MVP, right? He got that was pretty cool. Did you think he deserved it?
Yeah,
Did you-
he had the most home runs. He tied for the most home runs ever in a World Series.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
He definitely earned it.
Yeah. And then your lookalike Bregman, he kind of saved the day. He did pretty good.
I need to see a picture of this guy.
He looks,
Does he actually
You're
look?
looking at him right there.
Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
look this guy up. How do you spell his name?
Bregman.
Maybe I am Bregman.
Maybe he
figure it
is.
out.
He might be.
What's his first name?
Special guest.
Alex.
Alex. Okay.
And like I think the most impressive thing to me like about this playoff run is that they beat the three highest payroll teams in baseball.
Yeah, I noticed that because I always hear about the Yankees and the Dodgers. It's like
Yeah, the Red Sox
those
are the third highest, the Yankees are second highest, and Dodgers are the highest.
Yeah, I was like those are
And
like
coming into the
pretty big
season, the
teams.
Astros were like 18th, I think.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
that's also like really cool. Is that
Yeah.
we kind of prove people wrong. Like,
Yeah, we're showing that you can like build a team and not have.
Troylon looked up the photo.
I'm
of
trying
Bregman
to
and it's, like,
compare. I can
comparing.
kind of see it. This guy seems just a little bit different. Maybe it's because of the facial.
We'll include a side by side in the
my
post, and then we'll let you judge if you think it's similarities or not. But something really fun that actually happened. That's congratulatory for Carlos Correa. He got engaged at the end of the World Series to
That's so
Miss
cute.
Texas USA, Daniela Rodriguez. So how do we
That was
think about that?
She sounds hot.
God.
Miss Texas. I mean, come on.
What do you think about that proposal? Like it's like at the end of the World Series, he had to have that planned.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
like,
know.
you won the World Series and you got engaged.
said- yeah,
can
he
you have
said
a
in-
better month, a
I'm
week?
just really against public proposals to begin with because then the girl is like she feels obligated to say yes.
But she was excited
yeah.
for it. Did
Yeah.
you see the clip?
Well, did you see the ring?
guess it
Did you see the ring?
It was-
I guess it would depend on the situation.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
would want it maybe hopefully.
Well, I mean,
so.
does it happen often where someone proposes and the girl might want to say no? I feel like if you propose,
Oh,
you're
it's
kind of
happened.
sure.
What
I
did
saw
Google-
a guy at Disney World propose to his girlfriend and she said
She
no
said no.
in front of Cinderella's castle and it was really
There's
Why was she
like-
with him?
There's
That
like a
was
whole
so
bunch of videos
uncomfortable.
on like
You gotta
YouTube
think some
you
of
can
that stuff.
find
yeah, I kind of like
Dang.
of like people being rejected at like basketball games.
Yeah. He said in an interview that if they would have lost, he wouldn't have done it right there.
Oh, you still with
'Cause, yeah, you can't like propose after you lose like the biggest game.
You gotta go have a good
That's
cry
supposed to.
first.
This whole scandal happening
rat
in
behavior.
Hollywood is
Not to mention
kind
the
of
Kevin
crazy.
Spacey thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Hollywood's kind of blowing up right now with all these scandals and these things that are coming to light that happened even as far back in the 80s to just recently a couple months ago. From Harvey Weinstein to Kevin Spacey to there was that actor. He's on Gossip Girl. The
Ed
new-
Westwick.
Yes.
Yep,
he's got some too.
What did
I
Ed
am-
Westwick do?
This one lady, this one actress, I don't remember her name. She alleges that Ed Westwick raped her, and as a huge Gossip Girl and Chuck Bass fan, I am choosing to ignore it completely. I'm just like, nope, didn't happen. Like blind veil.
But that's one of the things that's like that's kind of crazy about this is that some of these popular actors and producers and people who we know are having these allegations brought against them, and it's kind of messing with their not only reputations but the shows and the things that they're a part of.
No more House of Cards.
Yeah, House of Cards is.
Not
Well,
that I watched it,
from what
but-
I understand, they are suspending the last season, but they may continue forward with it, but
Yes.
writing out Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
I mean, we won't go into far detail about it because I'm pretty sure everybody knows the facts about it by now. But one of the things that actually Troylon had mentioned to us before was how these actions and these kind of allegations that come against celebrities, how do they impact their their works, their things that are kind of known for.
Yeah, I mean, like Emily, what you just said about how you're
It's
choosing
not
to ignore
happening.
it. I think it does kind of raise that question. Like, for one thing, is it true? And if it is true, how do you look at that person from then on? Do you still like their stuff or not? Like, even with the X-Men movies and Bryan Singer, he's been accused of all that stuff. I know there were,
Those movies are bad to begin with.
Okay, no.
but there were
They're
some.
amazing.
There were some people that
Except
were like, "Hey, Bryan Singer doing that isn't going to stop me from watching the X-Men movies."
That's also me.
and stuff.
Bryan Singer is
He's like a producer.
producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the director, and the writer,
I mean,
stuff.
he's always come off a little creepy, like TBH, but
I've always been.
X-Men isn't his.
It depends on what everybody's limits are. Like, so
Yeah.
for some people, sexual assault, if we're staying in that theme, that's the limit of, like, I'm not going to either watch it or I will watch it and not financially support it. And then some people, the limit would have to be beyond sexual assault, rape, or some people it has to be included. Like, if there's a child, that's where they draw the line. There's been, in my personal history, very few people in media that have personally, like, I'm not going to financially support them, I'll watch it if they're in it, but it kind of, it makes, when you're watching it, kind of cringy, like, because you think, you're thinking about it sometimes. Like, for me, I wrote Mel Gibson, Johnny Depp, some of these were non-sexual assault reasons, but now when I watch them, especially new stuff, sometimes I can go back and watch old stuff, because it was pure back then, right?
It was
didn't know
before you knew.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's John
Yeah.
But then once you watch it, It's a mixed bag. Kevin Spacey is the first time it's hit me with someone that I already really, really liked before, and I'm having to face it. Because some of these other people, I had mixed feelings or I didn't care about, so knowing something negative didn't affect me. This Kevin Spacey thing, I'm trying not to put a double standard of things that I've said about other people, and I'm thinking it towards him. I'm like, Alyssa, stop! You can't do that. Just because you like House of Cards, just because you like what all these other things he's been in.
And what I found crazy about his was that he kind of tried to justify it as he was
because I'm gay.
Because he's gay and because he's and the way he phrased it was like, I'm choosing to like live my life as a gay man. I was like, okay, you just chose automatically.
He said, I've been with men, I've been with women, and I'm choosing to live my life as a gay man.
I thought he was already out.
And that was kind of
rumored.
it was.
I mean, once you host the Tonys a couple of times, I'm automatically assuming.
I mean, I honestly
Like, let's just get real.
I like him as an actor, but he was never someone who I would watch like interviews and stuff. So I had no idea that there were these rumors that he was gay and stuff. Like I never knew. Like,
I've honestly never really watched anything of his. I mean, I knew of him, but I didn't.
His House of Cards character is bisexual, so once I saw him play it, it was kind of like, oh, that could be a thing.
And I feel like since I really like the first guy who came out against Kevin Spacey, Anthony Rapp, who's a huge fan, has been for like a decade. I automatically was like, oh, like automatically against Kevin Spacey. Like, I automatically took his side.
I'm on the same.
I'm on the opposite. I don't know anything about him except since he's come out, I'm like, okay, what has he been in so I can see
Rent and the new Star Trek.
Yeah,
I haven't watched either of those.
And see, the big thing about like the timing of the whole thing is that Sunday, the new Star Trek came out, and it was one of the first episodes where Anthony Rapp's characters got like a big part in the show. And it was a throwback to like an old Star Trek episode, and then like 2 old Star Trek episodes in it. And so it was like a really big episode, and it had some big actors in it, and then in the course of that episode, Anthony Rapp's character in the show is actually gay, and so he starts talking about his partner and talking about like their relationship, and that's the first I think that's the first time in the show where it comes up that he is a gay man, and that's the first character in Star Trek to be like that. So that premieres. A couple hours later, Kevin Spacey tweets his thing out. Yeah. And so it was like, to me, that was weird. Just that
I know that Anthony Rapp, he had posted the allegation.
He was in
and then Kevin Spacey replied.
What did he say that Kevin Spacey did to him?
That Kevin Spacey was drunk at a party. Anthony Rapp was 14.
Yeah,
and he said
like 28.
Yeah, and he said he pushed him onto a bed and got on top of him and was saying, I don't know the.
Yeah, it was just like.
But then he pushed him off and was like nothing happened, but he was like.
But then it's come out that Kevin Spacey has been
done this
to a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, was it the other accusations after that led to all these groups disavowing him, or was it just that one incident?
Well,
I think it was the one
thing, and then he posted his rebuttal, I guess, apology
his rebuttal, I think, is what did it.
And then everyone was like, oh, this is how not to come out. Like, you found the perfect way to not do this.
Because he was scapegoating gay people.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a big problem, is that a big stigma is that, all gay men are child molesters. And I mean, it's not true.
It's like, he said, I wouldn't have done this to another 14-year-old person if I wasn't gay, is when it came off.
Yeah, that's when it came off.
I kind of read it differently. I understood that mindset, especially the problematic of people associating gay people with people that touch children. Like, that was already like, maybe this is not the good time. I didn't see it as a defense, but I did see it as, this is not the time. Hit enter on Facebook and write another post. Don't even put it in the same post. I didn't see it as a defense personally, but I did see it as really appropriate to bring up in the same.
Because it's also like, oh yeah, you're accusing me of this stuff, and then there's also the implication in that accusation that I would have to be gay to do that, and so you know what, I'm just gonna come out now.
Yeah.
Like, it was.
I think somebody said that there was multiple people. From what I understand, the man from Star Trek and Rent is the only person I think that has come out. But in his apology, or rebuttal, whatever, Kevin Spacey said that he has been blacked out before, and he was apologizing to kind of if this had happened again. Like, if it had happened, if there's somebody else that's not speaking out about it, which is kind of weird to put it like that, but...
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's come out multiple times. Like, this, even today, I saw, I think, TMZ, they're going to do a press conference with a reporter, I think from Utah, who, Kevin Spacey, just last year, or a couple months ago, he assaulted her 18-year-old nephew. Yeah. So that was supposed to be coming out today. And it's along with a bunch of other, you know...
apparently it's happened on House of Cards, like, numerous times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's been all creepy.
But that leads to, like, what is it that these men get power and then they think they can just do whatever they want to whoever they want and get away with it?
Yeah. So the Signal, we are actually branching off and doing our own sort of Me Too campaign. And we are going to be having these physical boxes where pretty much located around University of Houston Clear Lake. And you can write,
Speak out for victims who or survivors who want to come forward about their story. The other one is share empathy. And share empathy is for survivors who want to give words of encouragement because they do understand where they are. And the last one is show support for anyone who wants to show their support. So basically you're going to be finishing the sentence, I support sexual abuse survivors because... And so that basically all that's going to go in that box, and we're going to use it for
ongoing projects. Because we really want to raise awareness about sexual harassment and sexual just abuse, and kind of really bring it home to, you know, everyday people, and especially around the USL community. Because this isn't just, you know, a Hollywood issue; it's an issue globally. But really bring it home to us, and you know, allowing, you know, survivors of sexual harassment and abuse to speak out, you know, speak out their truth, or even offering support to others. So you can find those boxes later on this week, and it should be running through, I think, December 1st. It'll be in the Atrium 1 in the Bayou Building, the lobbies of Delta and Arbor, and then there's going to be one, I believe, in the SSCB lobby. So you can find those boxes there, and you'll find the different color papers that, you know, have like instructions for you to look over. And there's also going to be a link to the online Google forum, where if you prefer, you know, anonymity and doing it online, you can. Also, no names are, you know, required. It's completely optional if you want to do that. And, you know, sharing your story is completely optional too. There's going to be boxes where you can check if, you know, you wanted the Signal to use it or not. Any more information on that we can give out?
No, I think that the more people that participate and the more we see people responding to this, the more people are going to realize the magnitude of the problem.
Yeah.
So as long as everyone gets involved, I mean, we can really take this to the next level of everyone really seeing awareness and understanding. Because it's not that no one cares about sexual abuse or sexual assault, it's just that people aren't educated about it.
Yes, it's definitely about the education, and also allowing people to be comfortable enough to, you know, to speak out and not feel as though they have to be silent, you know. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you, Cody, for joining us and telling us about that. I actually wanted to cold call one of our Backpage reporters, former Backpage reporters, Crystal Salceda. She was supposed to be on with us last time, but she was super busy. So I'm not giving her any warning. I'm just going to call her. And you'll remember her if you listen to like a couple of seasons. We're just going to ask if she can dunk now. It's been a while. We haven't seen her, so I'm interested if she can dunk.
It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. She was our former reporter, and
she would give like awkward stories.
Yes,
awkward encounters that she had.
So we're gonna call and see.
She sounds cool. How does she look?
Miss Texas.
Hello?
Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
What's up? You're live on Signal Soundbytes. How's it going, Backpage?
Really?
Former Backpage reporter.
Really?
We just wanted to call and check in with you real quick before we sign off.
Hey, so can you dunk now?
No.
Why not?
No.
You're supposed to be
I
practicing.
haven't been practicing.
Why not?
How do you look?
That's Troylon. Don't answer him.
Just ignore it.
We're talking about Tell me why it's gonna
What?
It's really nothing. No, but we wanted just to call in, and because we couldn't get you last week, so we wanted just to kind of call real quick and just say, hey, what's up, and kind of let our listeners in on what you're up to now that you've graduated. You're moved on.
So we won't be seeing her around here anytime soon.
No.
Oh. She look.
You'll look at him. So any
What are y'all doing?
we're any comments?
Huh?
Any comments?
Very awkward because I don't have anything going on.
So would this be like your awkward moment of the week?
Basically, yes. I wasn't expecting this, and my life still isn't exciting. I mean, I'm sorry.
Do you have like a nice job lined up? Are you are you doing anything with your degree?
No.
I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about.
Damn.
Whenever I graduate.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll let you get back to whatever you're doing.
We believe in you.
Thank you for joining us for this awkward moment of the week. This was fun.
What if she's like in
Glad
line
I
for
could help.
unemployment?
Thank you. All right, bye, Crystal.
Bye.
Oh my god.
That was amazing, and I'm glad we did it.
That was fascinating.
And she'll probably defriend me
So,
later.
When I graduate, I'm never gonna answer.
We're gonna cold call everybody. And next week we'll be cold calling somebody else.
Y'all can do that to me after I graduate.
Oh, we're gonna call you all the time. It's gonna be like silence. It's like, hey Jeremy, what's up? It's gonna be quiet. It's like, I'm chewing a board.
When I'm on the phone, I can talk your ear off. Like, I'll
Oh really? So should we call you in next time instead of just having you here in person? Like, Jeremy, talk to us. How's your day going?
I'll talk nonstop on the phone.
Any fights lately? All right.
First rule
Well,
of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club.
there you go.
Hey, stop talking
We have
about
to
it.
delete this whole podcast.
Yeah. Now this whole podcast will be
Maybe
later.
we can bleep this out.
But real quick before we sign off, be sure to be on the lookout for the Me Too campaign that the Signal's doing. It's going to be on all the important buildings. You'll find our boxes. They're black boxes with teal ribbon. And you can also find the flyers to find the link for online forums. So thank you guys for this. Oh, real quick, yeah.
Question about that. Could you, maybe we can get a picture of where the boxes are located and post them on Facebook?
Yeah, we're gonna put those the locations of those in the posts for this on our website, so you'll be able to find all that information, and be really good to to get that going. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining me. Any final comments?
There were ups, there were downs, and there were
It's
some more
like
ups.
life. It was.
Lower downs.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you for sticking with us for this tumultuous. Right, and also next time we're gonna be producing our new podcast. It's gonna be entertainment. We don't have a name for it. We don't have a name for it yet, but it's gonna be like an entertainment-based podcast.
Check it out!
It's not out yet.
When it comes out, check it out.
When it comes out, you'll get more information.
And I'm gonna be the star of it.
He's not gonna be on it.
How dare
Thank you for listening. We're cutting this off now. Bye.